Hello, my friends. I hope you had a great weekend. It's Monday again. Welcome to the channel. I am the sports judge. One of the biggest stories in the NFL revolves around Dak Prescott. It's interesting that Dak Prescott trade discussions are being brought up once again. Trade him, just trade him already. Move on from him, get rid of him. It's time to finally let him go. It's not as easy as it sounds. The reality is that, and I like Dak Prescott. I like him a lot, but I too, like many people, don't believe after his postseason performance once again that Dak Prescott is enough to carry a team. Right now, you're in an emotional state, talking with a great deal of emotion if you're saying the Cowboys should try to trade Dak Prescott. Now, I'm telling you, this is a pipe dream. Okay? Sadly, it won't happen. He's not getting traded. He's not getting moved. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. Dak is going to be the Cowboys quarterback next season. Dak has a no trade clause and a $59 million cap hit next year, meaning he can't be traded. B, trading or cutting him would result in a $90 million dead cap hit. So even if he has another letdown in the playoffs, let's say he does, the Cowboys are likely stuck with him and have to give him an extension to lower that cap hit to pay Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb. I doubt they'll cut him loose or trade him. That's not Jerry Jones like, okay? That's not something Jerry Jones is going to even consider doing. They're in a situation with Dak, and if he leaves after this year, the dead money cap charge is $95 million. They would have to spread out. I'm still riding with Dak Prescott, even though that sounds delusional and crazy. Now, I think it would be outrageous to give him $60 million a year. That is still unimaginable. I try my best not to think about that, or I would go insane just thinking about it. The fact that Jerry Jones owns the Cowboys, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Dak has the leverage. And I just feel, knowing Jerry Jones, I just feel Jerry Jones will cave and pay him. Pay him what he wants. Because Dak is not going to play on a discount. I don't think he'll play on a discount. He wants to be compensated. 2 playoff wins, 4 losses doesn't get you $60 million. I mean, maybe in Jerry's world it does. A trade, never going to happen. Never going to happen. Jerry falls in love with his quarterbacks. They don't get traded. They get paid. And here's the thing with the Cowboys. They don't have anything else going for them. So I feel like they at least keep the big names on their team, even if they underperform. Even if they play like garbage, right? And we're having that same 2-year-old conversation about whether the Cowboys should commit to Dak Prescott. It becomes tiring at some point, right? Hearing about Dak Prescott, the fact that we're even talking about this speaks volumes. This is the last thing I'm going to say. This is the last thing I'm going to say about Dak Prescott because, frankly, I'm tired of this conversation. It's time to face the fact that he's not going anywhere. This is something I think we talk about way too much, and it's the Cowboys. Hall of Fame Charles Haley makes a spot-on statement that a lot of people took out of context or took it the way they wanted to take it. His words were, to me, misconstrued. So let me provide more context so people can understand. Nothing is more effective than sincere, accurate, honest praise. Haley, I think, was finding a way to weave some praise into his commentary, try to offer praise. People often strive to meet expectations conveyed to them. So I think what Haley was trying to say is that, and he's just been honest about keeping Dak. I think what he was trying to say, if you trade him, every team in the league will be after him. He called him a winner, a great person. So I think what he was really trying to say is that if you put him up for a trade him, and every other team would love to have a quarterback like that. And they would. There are some teams out there that's in need. It seems these teams are desperate for a quarterback. We're talking about trading a quarterback that other teams would covet. This guy isn't a bum. This guy isn't a scrub. He's a good player, just not great in big moments. Often comes up small, particularly in big games. So at what point does this trade Dak or cut Dak nonsense go away? I've seen so many people say trade him. I've heard so many people say cut him. It just shows the majority don't have a clue how football works. When I hear Dak Prescott takes on social media, I honestly just want to log off or click off. I'm just tired of seeing it. It's crazy though to even consider trading Dak Prescott. If you can't sign him before the season starts, you might have to let him walk without getting anything for him at the end of the season. You can get something in return for him if you trade him now. But here's the thing. I need you to understand this. You can dare to dream all you want. That's fine. They cannot trade Dak Prescott. Again, they cannot trade Dak Prescott. They're stuck with him. They can consider trading him. They can think about it. I'm amazed by those who reject objective reality and live in this fantasy world. Your feelings don't override reality. You can feel how you want to feel about Dak being the quarterback. I mean, in a sense, I can understand why Cowboys fans can't unsee this, as they, can't come to the realization that Dak isn't going anywhere anytime soon and could be, here next year and beyond if Jerry Jones pays him. Wake up and face tough realities. Dak has a no trade clause. Read the fine print. It's there in the contract. Look, I got my deal. Not only did I get my money, but I got a no tag clause. You can't keep me here. And I got a no trade clause. So I got to sign off on it. I got to sign off on that. Thank you, Jerry Jones. I appreciate it. Thank you. This Dak Prescott talk isn't crazy in totality. If Dak's open to a trade, then maybe you consider moving him, right? Maybe you move him. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I'm listening to this. People in general, media members, former players talk about this, and I'm going, this is a guy coming off an all-pro season where he was an MVP finalist, and we're talking about if they should trade him. And we're already at the start of training camp. The majority of these fans yelling to trade Dak Prescott have little recollection of what he did last season. Look, it's a bad mix of toxic and zero football knowledge. You can't really think that blowing up the team every season is the solution to winning the Super Bowl. Worse yet, you obviously think they can do better without Dak Prescott. Are there even any better options at the quarterback position than Dak? And if you trade him, who are you going to trade Dak for? See, I don't think Dak is the entire problem. I can assure you the one person holding this team back, keeping them where they are right now, is Jerry Jones. And the part that gets me with Jerry Jones is his blinded loyalty to his players and his willingness to overpay his players. That's why I'm saying Dak is not going anywhere. I need someone to explain to me, how do you trade someone who, and just from looking at the numbers last season, someone who had a productive season. Dak's season was overlooked while the Cowboys collapsed in the playoffs and disappointingly saw their season come to an end in heartbreaking fashion. Remember the blowout loss to the Green Bay Packers. But Dak was tremendous. He was tremendous. The problem with Dak, and this is what a lot of people acknowledge and some don't, is he plays his worst games when they need him to play his best games. And of course, when the Cowboys played 500 or better teams, they would lose. But when they would play mediocre teams, they would beat up on them and bully them. So Dak is a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback, but a lot of people don't believe he's a top 10 or even a top 15 quarterback and truly think Dallas can move on from him and do better without him. Maybe that's why people want him gone suddenly, because never in a big game can he come through in ways he's never done before. You know, he's countless times he's never come through. It's just been heartbreaking to witness for a very long time now, for too long. And if you're a Cowboys fan, you're tired of it. And after years of loyalty from Cowboys Nation, they do nothing and come up short every year. And the guy who gets blamed for it, Dak Prescott. Year after year, the Cowboys promise their fans something exciting, but aren't able to deliver. So much to be hopeful for with this franchise, but it always goes sideways, and the fans never get what they want. So now they're crying for a new quarterback as if that's going to make it so much better. You see? And folks will find a way to blame Dak for anything. I mean, it happens every year. It's absolutely absurd. Everyone just wants to point blame at the quarterback. I get it. He hasn't been good in the playoffs. Never gets it done when the season is on the line. And in my opinion, when you're the quarterback and wear a helmet with the star logo, you're going to be scapegoated. There's no other way around it. You're going to be held accountable every time your team loses. It's easy to point the finger at Dak and suddenly give up on him and beg the organization to trade him or cut him. You guys love dumping on Dak because it's the easiest thing to do. I still think Dak is not worth $60 million a year, but I can tell you this: he'll be back with the Dallas Cowboys next season. That's for sure. Thanks for watching, everyone. Really appreciate the love and support. I'm getting out of here now. If you guys like my content, you guys know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. If you guys are subscribed to the channel, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the love and support. I'm out of here now. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Happy Monday to you all. See you guys when I see you guys again.